Those Muhammadan, when they speak about how the Quran can help you, like this guy and his wife, if you search and check and see how women they react when they hear that their husband he had a second wife, to make it simple, imagine your husband is cheating on you, how happy you will be and what you will do next. The Muslims, not only they can have 4 wives, they can lie about it, and that make the women, when she marry a Muslim man, suffer from stress before even getting married. Why? Because she knew that the husband, he can lie and he can have second, third wife as he wish, and he do not need to tell that he have any other wife, and that will bring a lot of stress in her marriage, if we can call it a marriage, because I believe strongly Islamic marriage is nothing but a sexual contract. It's a prostitution. All of us, we heard not long time ago a YouTuber, a Muslim YouTuber, him and his he brought some Muslim girlfriends who they are maybe a possible future secret wives, and he put them in the display, and they made a video about it is the right for a Muslim man to have a secret wife.
Put me, hijab, brother Sirtaj, Dawood on lie detector test, and they said the following questions: do you love your wife? Yes. Pass. Would you die for her? Yes. Pass. If your wife was okay, would you get a second wife? Yes. Pass. There is not a conflict between a man
There's no conflict between what? A man, yeah,
loving his wife
and
a man wanting to be polygamous.
there's no conflict. There's no conflict. But if a man he love his wife, why he want to love the second wife? Can you love really 4, 5, 6? You know, sound like this is exactly Andrew Tate's. This is why the trash of the world, they convert to Islam. The trash of the world, the pervert. Let us make it simple. The pervert. There's no contradiction. There's no problem between you like to have more than one woman in your house. And if you ask yourself, what is the purpose exactly of having more than one woman? It's just nothing but being pervert. Owning more women. This is a form of slavery. So the woman, she enter inside the Muslim house, and now she don't know for how long she will sleep there and how long she will be number one. Because as soon he got a new wife, she is younger, more pretty, she will be the second wife. And this is what Muhammad he did. Muhammad he prefer Aisha more than all his wives. In fact, Muhammad he consider Aisha is his best dish. This is how much Muhammad he respect women. He said that Aisha is the same as a tharid. It's like, you know, when you eat rice, you know. So Muhammad he see Aisha as a dish of food. Do you see it? The Prophet said the superiority of Aisha to other ladies, he's talking about his wives, is like the superiority of the thread or tharid over to other kind of food. Do you see it? Muslims, they lie and they say the Quran says that you have to treat them equally. This we hear them always saying that. They say the Quran saying that. That's a lie. The Quran did not say treat them equally by love. No, no, no. Like you feed them the same. You know, like you cook the same dish, feed them the same. Not one eat baklava and the one eat poo-poo, you know. That's it. The Quran in the same chapter says, and nobody can be fair with you know, just with his wife. Nobody. Muhammad here, he is speaking about how he see his favorite wife. She is nothing but a dish to fill up his stomach. Food is one of joys we have in life. You know, it's give us energy, maintain our health, especially if we eat healthy, and you know, nutrition to stay alive. And there's a joy when you taste it. For sure, Aisha is not a nutrition to Muhammad. She is just a sexual joy. And he see her as a dish. And he see all the other wives are dishes too. But she is the favorite dish. Now imagine yourself, you are married to a Muslim man, or you are a Muslim woman if you are listening, and now your husband, he just see nothing on you except a dish. Today he's eating you, tomorrow he is eating someone else. If you say I'm lying, I'm showing you the hadith, it's in front of you, and this is Al-Bukhari. This is Al-Bukhari. This is not me. And here we will notice that the source of stress in Islam is beyond imagination, especially for women. Later we will go to stress for men, not only women. And we will go to Muslim men, because Muslim men, they suffer from a lot of stress. In fact, having many wives is a big stress. And we will show you that from the life of Muhammad himself. But before we go that, Muslim men, when they become a true believers, not somebody like born as a Muslim, his name is Muhammad, but the majority, they like to take advantage of women. So they believe that a woman, she is nothing but a goat. And women, as a goat, she should be treated like one.
On with arguments, I'll just respond to this wife beating. You know, simple question, Haris. Do you believe women should be subject to laws? If you do believe that women should be subject to laws, then that means you believe women should be subject to all kinds of violence, including being beaten, jailed, even executed. That's what it means to be subject to the law. So there really is no difference between...
So guys, it's very simple. The Islamic law says beat women, be violent with them. The question now is not about how the woman, if she is a human being or not. She is just subjected to law. And the law says beat them. Do violence for them. So now he is explaining that in order to have a real marriage as a Muslim and a real family, you need to beat the hell of every member of your family, especially the female one. Why? Because we have a law subjugating females to beating. Very simple. How in the world that will not help the women to be more happy in her life? See the liars, they say to you that Islam make you stressful. Obviously that's not true. Islam will make you very out of stress. Few verses from the Quran, like chapter 4 verse 34, it says beat them, jail them, stop having sex with them. All those three things will lead into stress. Imagine you have a spouse, and maybe a few are suffering from that already, don't want to sleep with you, don't want to talk to you, and not only that, they lock the room on you. This is what the Quran is saying in chapter 4 verse 34. And I find it very disgusting and very silly from the Muhammadan when they say that Islam fight oppression. That is the oppression itself. So now the woman, obviously she have a problem with her husband. Instead, if we try to fix it, what we do, we make it worse. We lock the door on the women. We treat her, even dogs, they are treated better than Muslim women in Islam. We stop having any relationship with them, including sex, as a penalty. And simply, you throw her in a corner of a room, you tie her up, and you close the door, and you give her a dish of food like a dog once a day, until she become obedience. And if this all did not work, they say to you, beat them. In fact, the Quran never say which one comes first. It's up to you. If you decide to beat first and jail second, or you decide to jail first and beat second. And this is scumbag who's, you know, and I find, by the way, the most ugly, disgusting followers of Islam is those who convert to Islam. And the reason you find them more disgusting because they are more truthful, usually, especially if he studied Islam very well. This guy, he studied Islam very well. And by the way, you will notice this guy, he is willing to debate somebody, not me, anyone. I offer him many times this potato. If he dare to speak to me for 10 minutes, he will never dare. Never. But now he is saying, well, it's very simple. Everybody have to be subject to law. And the law of Islam saying, beat them, rape them, kill them, destroy them, spit on them. You know, and the Muslim, they say to you, we beat our wives lightly, which is very false. I will show you the reference where even Muslim in the time of Muhammad, they beat the wife until they made her skin greener than her clothing. This is the story of Aisha and a woman. She came to her and she complained that her husband, he did beat her until he made her skin greener than her clothing. Muhammad, he took the side with the man against the women. And obviously, if you are a woman and you are married to a Muslim man and he did beat you and he made your skin greener than your clothing, obviously you are a happy lady and you are a queen at the house. In fact, the Muslim man, he have 4 queens. He can replace them every election. And he can make you feel like a queen by beating you and make your skin greener than your clothing. And if you read the whole story, you will see Muhammad taking the side of the man who he did beat the wife against the women. And not only that, he encouraged him to rape her, because the whole beating is about what? She don't want to have sex with him. And here that will take us to other stress reason and depression reason. This poor woman, she was married to a guy, his name is Rifa. Rifa divorced her for the 3rd time. Now Rifa, she cannot go back to her previous husband until a new man F her, literally. I'm not speaking dirty, I'm saying what the word is. So now she married this man who is very old, and she was hoping he will not sleep with her. And she will make any excuse to make him divorce her, so she can go back to the previous husband, Rafa. But the guy, he's still functioning. He want to have sex. She refused. He started beating her. She refused. He beat her harder. She refused. She ran to the house of Muhammad, and Muhammad, he said to her, listen, your husband, as you see, he told me, you want to go back to your previous husband. You should know, read carefully. Allah Messenger said to her, if that is your intention, that you know that it's unlawful for you to remarry Rifa unless Abdul Rahman taste your orgasm and you taste his orgasm. That is another additional form of stress. Right? Imagine now you are a woman, you have a children, your stupid husband divorced you 3 times, because in the Quran it says if a man divorces his wife 3 times, she cannot go back to her previous husband until she F a new husband. And here you ask yourself, is Muhammad really a person who is suffering from mental illness or not? Obviously he is, because as you see, this does not fix the problem. This is make more problems. So now Muslim women who get divorced from previous husband, they go and find a new husband to F them for 1 night. And then 2nd night they ask him, divorce us, man, I did not marry you because I like you. I want to go back to my previous husband. And Muhammad now, he knew her intention, that she don't want you to marry this man. He is saying to her, okay, no problem. You don't like to marry him, but now you are married to him, you have to F him. You F him, you can go back to previous husband. This is what it says in front of you. Which means you can cheat. Because the Muslim, they say to you, well, this is what not Islam intended to do. Islam intended to teach the man not to use divorce as a toy, But as you see, Islam make it so easy, so it became a toy. Because why Muhammad make it so easy? Divorcing your wife by one message or one word, even by text message, you can divorce your wife. It's so easy. You throw her out of the house. Now, for sure, if you live in the West, good luck with that. She will screw you. All right? So Muslim women in the West, and this I want to mention this, Muslim women in the West, they have way less stress than Muslim women in the Middle East. Why? Because Muslim men in the West, they don't enjoy the privilege of beating and 4 wives and jail them in the room and spank them and treat them like dogs. You know, the privilege is gone. One phone call to the police, you are going to have a lot of fun. So if a Muslim woman, she live in the West and her husband did not marry the second wife yet, that's because he live in the West and he will go to jail if he do so. Not because he's nice. And if he did not beat her yet, not because he's nice, but because he's afraid one call, she will bring the police for him. But if she live in the Middle East and the woman, she called the police, the police will say to her, why you are calling? Oh, the husband is beating me, you know. They will say to her, the Prophet said, no man should be asked why he did beat his wife. Nobody even had the right to ask you. So put all those things together. Your marriage is not marriage, is a sex contract. You can be fired anytime. A new woman can be hired anytime. In your present. The husband, he will bring more babies beside your babies. The house will be full of babies and more women. The husband will have 4 mother-in-law. And 4 mother-in-law for the women he have right now, and 4 mother-in-law for the previous 4 women he had before, and 4 mother-in-law for the previous marriage before. Imagine how life would be so stressful. You know, like how many characters in this movie, like who is the first one? And then the Muslim, to fix the stupid story, because you get busy, they added the bracket to tell you what's going on. So in the first bracket, remember, why? Because it doesn't make sense. And when the Prophet, when the Prophet, what? Suddenly, and when the Prophet, okay. So we have to add, remember. And then the Prophet SAW, because you have to praise Muhammad, come on. And then you have to say Hafsa, because we don't know which wife. So we have to tell them Hafsa. Allah, he forgot to tell us. It's confusing. And then Hafsa, she told the other wife, which one? Aisha. So the whole story is Muhammad was busted in his house having sex with one of his servants. He told his wife Hafsa to go to visit her father. She went to visit her father. Her father told her, why you are here? She felt something suspicious. She thought he is the one who asked her to come. This is what she understood from Muhammad. So she went back home right away. And when she went back home, she found 2 legs around the neck of Muhammad in her bed, and he was effing literally his servant slave who he received as a gift from Amazon, which is from Egypt at that time. And remember, Muhammad is against slavery. He just effed them, and he received them, and he owned them. But he is against slavery. So now Muhammad, he promised one of the wives, I will make your father the caliphate. And then he promised the other wife, no, I will make your father the caliphate. So now the wife starts, no, my father will be the caliphate. No, your father will not be the caliphate. And now they start putting the hair of each other. And now Muhammad, he is out of control and he do not know what to say. So he now threatened them that Allah told me this. Allah said to the 2 wives, if you 2 don't turn to repentance to Allah, you better turn and repent. Actually, the sentence doesn't make any sense. I mean, even in English. So you better like repent to Allah. If you don't do that, you know what? Your heart is really indeed inclined. You became kuffar. But if you help each other against him, against who? Muhammad, then Allah is his protector, and Jibreel, and every righteous among the believers, and furthermore all the angels, which means nobody left in the heaven and the earth except as an exception, he is not involved in this fight with those two women. So now imagine how much stress Muhammad he have and how much stupid he is. He tried to cover his filth by false promises. And then his false promises come back to him because those wives, they told each other. This is why it says here in confidence. He told, don't tell the others, okay? Don't tell them I will make your father the caliphate after me. And he told the other wife the same. I will make your father the caliphate after I die. So now this was a matter of confidence. But those women, they start talking. And that ignite the problem. And then you will see that Allah is threatening the wives of Muhammad to be exchanged, divorced, and or exchanged. Do you see it? And this is the scenario for every Muslim woman. If she wanna have any argue with the husband, in 2 seconds she will fear that he is going to exchange her tomorrow. In fact, Muslims, they used to practice something, they cannot afford it no more to do it. It's called isti'aratul furuj, which means borrowing a vagina. So if you have a woman and you are bored of her, you take her, you exchange her with other vagina. So your neighbor, he's a Muslim, Abdul. Ahmad, he said to Muhammad, hey Ahmad, can I take your wife? You give me your wife? The Muslim, they say this is not about wife, this is about slaves. Supposedly now they're fixing it. So you F his slave and he F your slave. This is what they say. So all the religion of Islam is not only messed up, is not only zero ethic, it's a collection of stress. So the woman, she have no security, she have no settlement, she's nobody, she can be beaten, she can be spat off, she can be like she faces humility every day, she is not respected at all. The husband, he can bring another wife anytime he want in front of her eyes, and he can F her, and she is watching. And she is what? She is watching.
I agree. Look, I get the polygamous part. I get the whole wanting to have more intimacy with more than one woman. Yeah,
so this Muslim woman, she understands that Muslim men, they want to have intimacy with more than one woman. So what the purpose of this? Intimacy. And intimacy is a nice word, you know. It is effing. This is the origin of effing. I mean, you see, when the Muslim says that this guy, even in the video, he says every man is born polygamist. But isn't it their stupid God? He stole a story from the Bible saying that Adam, he have one Eve, and Eve, she have one Adam. So if everyone is born polygamist, why God, he created to Adam one woman and she was fine with him and he was fine with her? And now this Muhammadan women, look at their faces. I mean, and look, I mean, what kind even of discussion? This is the public one. So what is about the one behind doors? This is the public one. The one behind door is way more disgusting. Even Muslim men, they bring their wives and they start watching porn together. 2, 3, 4 wives. And not only that, he try his best to make the other women compete with the first woman in sex. Like, she danced for me, you don't dance for me. She stripped for me, you don't strip. She have a better move, you don't have good moves. This is Islam. And all of this is nothing but stress and depression. And this is why even Aisha, she said, and this is very important to remember, Aisha, she said that I never saw a woman is depressed and unhappy as much as a Muslim woman. Who said that? Aisha. And that will silence every single liar who says this is not true. Because who dare to say Aisha is a liar? Any Muslim dare to say so? Read carefully what Aisha she said. Aisha she said, I have not seen any women suffering as much as a believing woman. Look, her skin is greener than her clothing. Who said that? The wife of the first terrorist in the world, Muhammad. Do you see it? Is that a Christian Prince saying that Muslim women are the most suffering? No. This is Aisha. And this is the reference. And this is the hadith number. So now it's confirmed by Aisha herself. She is witnessing, and Muhammad, he could not say no, that the most suffering women, you see, at that time there's a lot of women who they are not Muslims, but the most suffering women, Islam did not make women enjoy their life. Islam obviously made women life horrible. And the proof in front of you, from their mouth, not from ours. Which means those who they are worshiping idols, their women are happy. Those who they are worshiping the vagina, and the Muslim now they worship the vagina, the black stone still, their life is better than the Muslims. Who witnessed for that? Muhammad's wife. All of this is nothing but endless number of stress. Now, not only this, there's more stress. A woman, she cannot be witness in the court. A woman, she is not equal in inheritance. A woman, she cannot even be witness for a crime. Muslim women, they can be witness only in the case of borrowing money. Not only that, there's conditions. And the condition is 2 women and 1 man. If there's no man, even if there are billion Muslim women, they cannot be witness for any case of borrowing money. In the case of murder, women are not approved to be a witness at all. Any capital punishment, Muslim women, she cannot, even if she saw her husband being killed by somebody, she is not approved witness in the court, for she is not equal to the man. She is half a brain. And the Quran actually mentions something very funny, showing you that Muhammad is mentally ill and stupid again. Muhammad, he claimed that Muslim women, or women in general, they have lack of intellect and intelligence. Therefore, we cannot have 1 woman to be a witness. And not only that, even if there's 2 women, we have to have at least 1 man. And not only that, even those 2 women have to be a woman who we can agree to trust. In the case of man, no, just enough to be a man. And Muhammad, he made an excuse, which is showing you that Muhammad is stupid. He said, so if one of them she err, the other one will remind her. So Muhammad, he assumed that 1 woman is stupid. 2 women are smarter than 1 woman. And 1 man is enough because he is stupid. But look how stupid Muhammad is. Because if 1 woman is stupid, having 2 women will not make 2 smart, will make 2 stupid. Are you with me? This is how stupid Muhammad is. So if we agree, and for sure I don't, that women are stupid, then doesn't matter how many we increase the number, well, they are still stupid. So having first one, second one, third one as witnesses did not change anything. If the first one will err, the second one will err, because the second woman the second one is a woman too, and the third one will err, and the fourth one will err, and the fifth one will err, because all of them are women. Because what the problem? They are women. So Muhammad, because he's an idiot, he considered the subject is the gender, and the gender connected with the brain. But if you ask yourself and you have little honesty, you know that maybe you will not remember what you ate today at lunch if you're a man, but your wife, she remember. If you take her to a party, a wedding party, your wife, she will tell you what they were wearing, what is the earring, what is the nails and their nail color, what is the shoes color, what the bracelet, what the food, what she said, what he said, who entered first, who entered. The man remember nothing. I remember come back from the party, the man asked him what you saw. I said, I saw the broom, the wedding. Yeah, I was there. Yeah. He don't remember nothing. He don't remember which suit he was wearing. The women, she would describe for you everyone what they were wearing. So if it's about memory and remembering things, women, they can remember way better. Again, Muhammad proven to be idiot, stupid. Not only they can tell you what they did, they can tell you what they are wearing. They can tell you what kind of perfume they have. Women are too much into details, especially for appearance or event, witness, you know, something happened, like, you know, around them. But all of this is nothing but a form of stress. What the heck is that?